Hi there, and welcome to another Beyond Threats podcast by Bleckmann. As always, I am your host, Erik Janssen Steenberg, and I'll take you on a journey, a deep dive into all that is changing, development, and new trends in fashion and lifestyle logistics. And today's deep dive is all about sustainability legislation and innovations. Innovation this time being creative packaging, allowing for a more sustainable way of packaging your products and delivering it to customers. For this purpose, I am today joined by Lucas Hullegie, co-founder of BOXO. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Thijssen, our very own Bleckmann CSR manager. Good to have you again, my friend.
Thank you, Erik.
So, guys, before we actually start the deep dive, would you please be so kind to introduce yourself and tell us more about why we're at the table at the moment?
Yes. So my name is Lucas. I'm one of the 3 founders of BOXO.
Mm-hmm.
And we offer a system for reusable packaging here in the Netherlands.
Very good, very good. Ron.
Hi, Thijssen, working at Bleckmann now past 6 years, mainly focused on sustainability within the organization.
Yeah, and we have you here because today's deep dive is all about the PPWR, meaning the packaging and packaging waste regulations. What do you see as challenges and of course the way our listeners can navigate into this new legislation with more ease, so to speak?
So the new legislation, the PPWR, is giving some challenges for brands here in the European Union because we have to reduce our packaging waste.
Mm-hmm.
Not recycle more, but reducing the amount of packaging we use for sending our products to the customers.
Yeah. Ron?
Yeah, it's absolutely a challenge. I mean, look at the numbers. Roughly 18 kilograms per person per year is being discarded just as packaging waste. And of that 18 kilograms, 85% is directly coming from e-commerce. So e-commerce is one of the big thrivers if it comes to spending money on packaging.
Yeah, I have no doubt on that. If I see what in my private environment comes in
Exactly.
on a weekly basis, it's nuts to be very honest. Lucas, based on your experience in the industry, being a subject matter expert, can you explain the PPWR and why it matters to both the brands, but also us as logistics?
So the main goal of the PPWR is to reduce packaging waste.
Yeah.
So every member of the European Union, like the Netherlands, they have their goals to reduce their waste. Now, e-commerce is still growing, but we grew the last years quite fast as a market.
It exploded, yeah.
So
definitely.
also the amount of packaging waste was
Grew
growing
with that.
very fast.
Yeah.
So the challenge is how can we do our part with the market to reduce the amount of packaging waste in every country who is a member of the European Union.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's also on your in your book of business, Ron.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's not just about recycling as the law dictates to become more circular, but it's an absolute reduction of your waste itself. So looking at reducing the materials being used, and there are a lot of regulations coming up. PPWR is one of them, and that also says something not only about the content of the material itself, but also the size. How often do you order something and it comes in a box that is way too big, a lot of air? So that's also
very often. Yes. But we all know that, of course, and we have been baffled by shipments that contain 80% air. Yeah. But why is now then such an important moment in time for sustainability in e-commerce and for us, of course, in fashion?
Getting out of control is very dramatic, but yes, if we don't act now, the mountain of waste is only going one way, and that's up.
Yeah.
And it really has to be reduced. And with all the good intentions from all the consumers and brands, etc., on recycling and recycling rate, perhaps it's time for the legislator to put an end to it and say, hey, listen, this is how we're going to work in the future.
Yeah.
And we're just going to reduce, end of story.
Well, and it is going to happen. We know that. We also understand the reasons behind it. We see the impact of the, packaging waste mountain around us in practically all that we do. But Lucas, now that we are convinced that something needs to change, what do you see as the biggest challenges in our industry and other industries alike in implementing more circular packaging systems?
I think there are three. So let's explain them.
Yeah.
The first one, I think, is the behavioral change, because we all know, like, e-commerce is there for 30 years, and 30 years long we are using single-use packaging for sending our orders. So the consumer needs to get used to it. We as brands, fulfillment companies, but also employees and owners of brands have to get used to reusable packaging. So the whole market has to make the transition from single use to also reuse packaging.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first one.
Do you see an increased interest at the on consumer level for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Yeah, all the researchers we see and also did ourselves are saying that consumers are ready for it.
Good.
But we need a system which is convenient enough so they start using it.
Yeah. Second point.
Let's go to the second one. That's efficiency, cost efficiency, and also in the operations of like Bleckmann, because you have a very, very efficient operation because you build it up in 30 years or 20 years. So now we are starting with this, like the system change from single use to reuse. So we also have to build up a new system, which is more efficient than the current system. So I think that's also one of the big challenges we face.
Everybody needs to be part of the change.
Exactly.
And if one of the cogs doesn't turn, we're all in trouble.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So fulfillment companies, brands, packaging companies, we all have to make the change, and it's only possible at scale if we do it very efficient. We know, because single-use packaging is very cheap.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest challenges. And the last one is the return rate, because if you start with reusable packaging, you need a high return rate to make the business case.
Sure.
And you can earn money with reusable packaging. You can earn a lot of money, but you need a high return rate.
A return rate of the packaging itself.
Exactly.
We go.
So not the products.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, not of the products. You're
very good, Ron. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. But the consumer is also a cog in said process. Yeah. So does the legislation also concern them? Are they part of the solution?
Yeah, because the consumer also has to make the change.
Has to play a part,
and is playing a really important part, because also in the PPWR is the start of more and more deposit systems to motivate consumers to return their packaging at drop-off points.
Yeah. And then, okay, when it is determined, yes, we want to be part of the solution and not the problem anymore. What do you see as hurdles that brands face when they're trying to insert this new way of working in the existing infrastructure, in the existing operations, and even the existing, would you say that, customer approach?
So it's new, and I think the biggest mistake we can make is that we go over to reusable packaging in one step. It's not possible, because like some consumers are ready for it, some are not. We also need some. We have the challenges in the operation. So we need to find a way to do it on a next path next to the single-use packaging. That's also the main reason why we have built up our system as we did. Yeah.
It's like a journey with a train, and everybody has to get on board.
Exactly.
And you can't have everybody at once on board.
No.
So you have to start somewhere with small steps, as long as those steps are in the right direction.
Yeah.
And are we as Bleckmann, logistics provider, a larger cog in that process. Are we on board?
Yes, we are absolutely on board, and we can absolutely help and facilitate these initiatives to become more circular by using reusable packaging material. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, indeed, it also asks from us a change in operations, because it probably will be an extra step.
Yeah.
Instead of filling just a poly bag and sending it out, we have to fill something else, a box or material like this, but also for the returns. How is that? I receive a packaging material in return. Normally, if we receive packaging material in return, it is a return, so we throw it away to be recycled. But then we receive a packaging material, and that has to be reused.
Correct.
That's new to us. So that's also an adoption for us as well.
It needs to be checked. It needs to be
cleaned. Labels has to be
stored.
Stored.
Yeah.
Is it smelly? Is it dirty? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be an extra step for us.
So, and with all that in mind, of course, that was the reason why we invited you, BOXO, to the table for this podcast. But can you explain the listeners and myself what BOXO is, what it does, and potentially give us some information about the neat packaging materials here on the table?
Yeah. So we built a solution that we offer brands the possibility to start with reusable packaging. And we do that by a deposit system, because we know the return rates where we speak about. We need a high return rate to make the business case for the brands and the owner of the reusable packaging. So therefore, here in the Netherlands, we're really used to having a deposit on packaging, because we already did it for beer crates since the 60s here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it works really well, because the return rate is 90%. And then a couple of years ago, we started up with bottles and cans. And now in the PPWR, that's also the regulation that all the countries of the EU starting with deposit on bottles and cans, on the system for that.
Yep.
Now, in the Netherlands, we are already used to it. So we use this system, the inspiration from the beer crate system, to build up the system for e-commerce.
Yeah.
And what we do is on every reusable packaging who's in the system, there's a unique ID.
Yeah.
So we can follow the packaging in our system. It's like a track and trace, but then for packaging.
Sure, like a license plate on a car.
Exactly, yeah. So we can see the status, like where is it been scanned for the last time? How many times is it used? Do you need to repair it or something? That all kind of statuses you see behind these QR codes.
Yep.
But we also use it for the use of the deposit on the packaging.
Sure.
So you charge your deposit. It's €3.95 on the packaging. And the consumer gets the deposit back at the returning point through our system. And all these administration is what we do. We facilitate for brands that they can offer their consumer the opportunity. Do you want to have your order delivered in a single-use packaging or in a reusable packaging with a deposit? If you choose for it, you can use our system. We get it back at the returning point. Clean it, sort it, and deliver it back to or Bleckmann or the web shop.
Sure. And are there a lot of spots to return them, or are they?
So we open by municipality. So we look in the municipality for enough returning points. So everyone has the option to return their packaging within 5 to 10 minutes by bike. We are Dutch people, so by bike.
Sure.
And we have to make it very convenient, I said earlier. So now you go to a physical returning point. It's a shop or a parcel point. You go there, you scan the QR code and drop your your reusable packaging and get your deposit back.
Yeah.
But the next step, we already doing it this year, is to give it with your grocery deliverer and give your reusable packaging to them and get your deposit back from them. And then it's getting more and more convenient. The last step is to also put it in your parcel locker, that you can get your parcel from a locker and also return the reusable packaging over there.
Yeah, on the put-up points.
Yeah, make it as easy as possible for the consumer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And you have to.
So I can already see it's quite sturdy material. So What's the average lifespan? How many times can these packaging go back and forth?
Yeah, so in our system, we say it need at least 50 times.
50 times.
Yeah. So that's also the challenge for the packaging companies we work together with. They have to make and like develop and produce packaging who is cost efficient, because you want to have it around the amount of the deposit, because that's your saver in the business case.
Yeah, you can't be losing money when...
Exactly, but it's also need to be strong, and also it need to be folded. I can show it because for us it's really important that it's be folded, because the return process, if you have packaging that can be refolded, it's very efficient.
Yeah, this is mail.
Exactly.
It's not a parcel.
Yeah,
so that's already a saver. Yeah,
exactly. So we challenge the packaging companies to from developing single-use packaging to reusable packaging, but we have another challenge. But now it have to be cost efficient as single-use packaging needs to be. But it also, like, you earn money with reusable packaging when it's used more and more times. So the better the packaging is, the more the money you earn with it.
Yeah, and save on costs. Yeah, absolutely. And is there some space to discuss the packing material itself for brands? Maybe they don't have standard size products. Is there space to discuss that?
We see all kind of different sorts of packaging now, like from mailer bags to the letterbox packaging, just normal e-commerce boxes. And for the bigger brands, it's also possible to use our system with their own packaging. So if you want to have your own branded e-commerce box, it's possible you develop it yourself and buy it, and then use our system to get it back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So further ease and injecting the product itself in the overall customer-facing experience.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. And then what practical steps can brands already take today to start using more sustainable packaging and prepare for the future when the digital product tracking comes to play?
Yeah, just start with offer their customers the opportunity to use reusable packaging with a deposit through our system, and therefore reducing packaging waste as a brand. So if you connect with our system, and we have all kind of plug and play services there, like for Shopify or Shop, where we have a plugin you install, and then if you install it, you get the choice for packaging in your checkout. And I think this is like it's the best way to start. But then you give your consumers the choice. What do you want?
Yeah.
For now, you give the choice. When do you want it delivered? Maybe by who?
By which carrier?
DHL or and then in what kind of packaging is just a small question we add to the checkout, so consumers and also brands can start using it, and we also learning, because you're starting small. Not everyone is choosing it for it now because it's still new. Yeah.
And do you see your customers, the brands, also incentivize their customers to opt for the reusable packing materials?
Yeah, it's really nice, because we really invented this with the web shops we started, because they are now, like, if you look at the customer journey of web shops, now it's ending at the waste container.
Yeah.
And then you're sending 1 or 2 emails like, "Are you happy with your products, and please review us?" And with reusable packaging, you can extend your customer journey, because the next touch point in the customer journey is, yes, you returned your reusable packaging at one of the points and you get your deposit back. Well done, this is the impact you made, but here's also extra points for our loyalty program, or a discount code for your next time you're shopping at us.
Yeah.
So I think also in the customer journey, it adds really a new value with the system of reusable packaging.
Yeah, it's somewhat more of a lock-in of the consumer, the customer, with the brands, but also making them feel that they're part of the solution. You do it together. Yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense. Ron, do you recognize that?
Yes, absolutely. We have had discussions with clients a couple of years ago. consumers at that time were not really ready of using reusable packaging material. Why? Because you are asking an extra step from your consumer.
Agreed.
And the consumer only wants one thing. That's not the packaging material. He doesn't care. He wants the content. And just throw the packaging material that way. It has to be convenient. It has to be easy. This one is an extra step. And by putting either a deposit system or a nudging via loyalty programs, I think that could be a very good solution.
Yeah. And the more people catch on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more done. It's becoming more Main Street to look at packaging material and waste in general than it was 5 to 10 years ago. Absolutely.
But before those slackers truly catch on, we need to have an incentive for them as well. So you just mentioned the bigger companies catching on. Are there success stories that you can already share with us and the viewers?
Yeah, I think the best example is Decathlon. We're working closely together with them here in the Netherlands. They started up with using reusable packaging with click and collect. Yeah. And now we're implementing the B2C. So now if you also deliver your parcel at your home, you get it in reusable packaging with deposit and drop it at one of our returning points.
And Decathlon is a big player. So
it's a really big player here in the Netherlands.
Congratulations on that one. That is a milestone.
And it's really nice. They are a front runner in this, but they also say, as a company, we want to be front runner in circular solutions. So for them, this is very clear. They are really into it and just implementing it with us now.
Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and when it is truly mainstream, you will see that the solution itself gets so big that the number of drop-off points can grow exponentially. Making it even easier to, return the reusable packaging, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly, it has to be. At the moment, it's more like I have to return this packaging material. Throwing away is easier, and it should be I can return my packaging material. I don't have to throw it away again.
Correct.
So the ease should be the return instead of the ease to be throwing it away.
Yeah, but. When my supermarket delivers my groceries once a week, I also collect the bags that it comes in and the crates that the heavy goods comes in. Yeah. So why not add this to it?
We're already doing it.
Yeah, it's a great solution.
Make it as convenient as possible. Yeah. Build it and they will come.
But it's still strange, like in our heads, it's strange, like, okay, the beer crate, well, we have it in a reusable crate.
It's normal that we pay for the crate.
It's
and
normal.
Now the question is, why do I have to pay for a packaging? No, you don't have to pay. It's a deposit system.
Yeah.
The same as the crate.
It's and also in a lot of countries, beer is still in cardboard boxes. But here in the Netherlands, we're all used to having beer in a beer crate and we reuse it. So it's a behavioral change we have to make with all the with the whole market, with all the companies, but also with the consumers.
Yeah, but I definitely see this happening very, very quickly. Very soon.
I hope quickly. I hope soon. What we do need is what you say is you need a volume.
Yeah.
You need two things for a change. One is a brilliant idea, and two is the volume. And we have to have more and more clients, consumers getting used to it, willing to offer it to their consumers. Yeah. So then you get this more momentum in it, and then everybody starts using it more and more. So yeah,
you need the front runners.
Get on that train.
Yeah, you need the front runners to make the system change. And thanks. We're now 1.5 year live with the system. Yeah, and there are already 35 front runners on the system, and now the bigger parties are starting implementing
the bigger ones.
Yeah. And we need them to make the change, because in every change there are some people or companies who are making the first steps, and then the other one are going to follow. And we're now facing this challenge. Okay, let's go on with the bigger e-commerce parties, and then the rest of the market will also accept it and say yes, let's go for it.
Yeah. Because then it becomes mainstream, and then even the slaggers need to catch on.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So as a kicker, when will the PPWR become legislation?
So, like the main goal of reducing waste is from 2030. Like the Netherlands, that's good also to know. Is like we have to reduce waste of minus 5%, and then from 2018. But in the last years, you see like the Netherlands is producing more and more waste.
Yeah.
So 2030, that's also already in 4 years. We have to
Practically around the corner.
yeah, so we have to do a lot to reduce a lot of waste because e-commerce is still growing. We're producing more waste. So cardboard is the main material what is still growing here in the Netherlands. Yeah, and we have to start because the goal is coming and it's minus 5% in 2030.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for explaining PPWR to us. What it means when it will be common practice or legislation, but also for giving us good ideas about how to go about it and giving us a sense of urgency because it will be a legislation rather soon if you look at the overall scope and scheme of things. So thank you very much. And even though it was a rather quick podcast, unfortunately, this is the time that we have for this topic, and I'm sure we'll be back at a later date. But for the listeners, the viewers, how can they reach out to BOXO and to Bleckmann and ask follow-up questions and potentially have fruitful discussions?
So your contact with Bleckmann, because we are working together, so you can reach your Ron or you, or which one you've been inside Bleckmann. But also our website is BOXO, BOXO.nl, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Just give a message and then we plan something to
Perfect. Ron, how about you?
Yeah, it's our website, bleckmann.com, and then go to the tab Sustainability, and there you can find my credentials, and just drop me an email.
Good.
Yeah.
Again, thank you very much, gentlemen. A very good discussion, and hopefully there's a lot more to come. Thank you. And for you, our audience, thank you very much for tuning in today. I think it was a very fruitful discussion, and I hope that it has given you a bit more in-depth information on the PPWR, what's on the horizon, and how you as a brand can be part of the solution instead of the, continuing problem. Make sure to follow us on our socials, subscribe to our podcast, because I surely want you to be part of it the next time. Until then, my name is Erik Janssen Steenberg, and see you soon.